and I'm here to talk about view distance. So, I've been meeting a lot of new players lately, and they don't quite understand what view distance is or why it is important. So, I'm going to try to go over that in this video. So, first of all, view distance is this thing right here. I'm hoping this is showing view distance. And your view distance is used on your world loadout so you can see more of the world. So with 590 meters of view distance, I can see 590 meters around me, and you'll see it represented as a almost transparent circle, which I'm actually not seeing right now clearly enough anyway, but I think when I use a torch it will come back. I guess not, but yeah, there it is. And as I said, it allows you to see more and interact with more of the world from further away. So it's really useful in particular for dungeons, because say I did not have on any view distance items, you just saw me looking at 2 dungeons. So now we're gonna try it without, and I'll show you the difference because I was wearing 4 view distance items just now, and I'll explain those too. So now I'm at 216 meters view distance, which means it's not going to be as fun a time for me because now I can't see the dungeons. And why the dungeons are important in particular is when you're doing party play, you are able to host a dungeon. Like each person is able to host a dungeon. So if there's one dungeon, 4 party members can host that dungeon once each, and then there's a cooldown. So 1 dungeon equals 4 dungeon runs. So as I said, view distance is calculated in your default or your world loadout, and there are very specific items that give you view distance. There are 4 classes that give you view distance, and there is one item that gives you one consumable that gives you view distance. So since there's only one consumable, I'll start with it. So the Far Side potion is unlocked at tier 5. It is created in this thing, the herbalist, and it costs 10 day leaves and 1 super empty bottle, and that gives you 20% view distance when used. For lower tiers, which I'll be going through now, you're going to be focused on these items. So you're going to be trying to get a lantern, not 1 lantern though, 2 lanterns. And these can be found in your basic shops by refreshing them a ton. Usually you'll find them sooner than later, but sometimes you don't. So you really have to just refresh a bunch until you do find them in your shops. And you'll need 2 of these, 1 for each accessory slot in your world loadout. The other recommended item for lower tier players would be the gazing staff, and for persons that are tiers, is it 4? I think this class can wield anything. Yeah, at Battlemaster you can be using gazing staves to increase your view distance. But when you move up to Adept, will you be able to? I don't think you will be able to. But then I think at that point you will have access to the prior I don't know what it is called, but he's a red NPC with orangey red hair, and he requires you to collect 50 fire stones, these things, and then he will give you a fire pike. And once you got that fire pike, you need another one. And how you'll get another one is you will be doing dungeons. They're end of dungeon rewards because they're quest items, but they're relatively easy to get if you're consistently doing dungeons, because it's, in my experience anyway, they've come fast after I've done the quest, because I have a few alternate accounts that I've done the quest on. I don't use them that much, but it was really useful at the time. So ideally you want to have 2 lanterns, 2 fire pikes, because you'll be dual wielding, wait, what? I'm going to go ahead and assume my mage class can't use it, which would be strange, but I guess that tracks. It's more of a melee weapon for real. But yeah. And as I said, the alternative, if you are not a meleeer, would be the gazing staff. And these can be found in dungeons, especially boss mode, from the gazer monsters. So those purple, is that not really purple, pinkish colored things. So you'll want bam, bam, 2 accessory slots, and bam, bam. Higher levels, you're going to want stuff like Surtur Sword or Arisen Surtur Sword. And this is because you're going to be putting in adornments. So adornments also play a key factor in view distance, because the more adornments you have in, the more view distance you're going to have, because it is going to add to what you already have. So these adornments that I currently have in are from the third horseman, and they give 2% view distance each. And with the Demon Forged, well, Master Forged Surtur Sword, you get 7 slots. You get another slot when it is God Forged. So that's a whole lot of additional view distance. Plus the sword itself gives the base 20% view distance. So when you're putting in view distance adornments, you're going to want to put them into a weapon that has its own view distance. So this is a really good one. As I mentioned before, the fire pike can also hold a few. The Arisen and the gazing staff, they can hold a few as well. There are adornments at tier 5 as well that give 1% view distance each. They are from the Fey Gazer World Raid boss, but they're really rare too. And I would say that hardly anyone has that many summoning scrolls or even firestones to upgrade 2 of those things. So I'll show you on my alt actually. So the fire pikes have 5 slots each, and at Godforge they have 6 slots each. And as I mentioned before, there are classes that also have a view distance passive. The first one is the Majestic class, and the passives are usually called Eternal Light. And it says you forever emit a radiant light, raising your stats over time, but it also gives you view distance. The next one is Magistrate, and same thing, same 20%. The other is the Arcanic class. It gives Eternal Light 2, though it does not add any additional view distance, still the 20%. Then you have last but not least, I guess, Realm Shifter. And they have Realms Light, which gives the 20% view distance too. I'm trying to remember. Okay, so another view distance adder, but this one is pretty hard to come by because you have to wait 22 hours is the Brazier, and it too adds 20% view distance. So usually, as I said, 1, 2, 3, 4 plus your torch. I'm not sure if I mentioned that your torch also adds view distance, but 4 items plus your torch is usually good enough for the average party, because that will be around 500 view distance on non-view distance classes. For this account, I have 773, and it's only like level 190, and I can have the exact same view distance on, as I said, the previous 2 classes, the Magistrate and Majestic. And Majestic is tier 5, so you can get a lot of view distance early. And if you've ever done a party run with a higher level player, you'll understand exactly why you want to be seeing and hosting more dungeons. They're really, really rewarding, and they're really quick to do. So it's not like you doing dungeons by yourself is going to be slower than just doing it with a party in general. And then you're going to be seeing a lot more mobs, so it's going to be helping you with your achievements. Monster Slayer is one it'll help you with. Boss Slayer is another it'll help you with. So that's why view distance is so important. And yeah, I think that should be good enough. Goodbye.